Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do you want this in here?
Always.
Always?
Yeah.
Okay.
Euphoria Wellness Spa, Canoe Cafe, Tiffany Show. I think we are ready. Let's check that mic check, and then what I'll do is I'll sit there. I'll introduce the show, and you can just slide in.
Yes, that's right.
Perfect.
Yeah, I want.
Welcome to the Tiffany Show. Kojiko, Your TV, Peterborough, Lindsay, and of course, my social media channels. We are here telling some human stories, spreading a little bit of kindness and a little bit of love, which is what the world needs more than anything right now. Speaking of love, I've got a lot of love for our next guest. Come on in, Grobler. How are you today, buddy?
I am very well. Thank you for having me. I am honored, by the way, to be here. You've had some big people here, so it's like, holy smokes. And then when you're doing the intro there, I was like, who else is about to come here? Like,
the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, I'm like, is someone else coming? Is it me?
Sometimes I do end up with like a studio audience. There's been like the International Women's Day episode or the Father's Day episode, like the whole cafe.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then they like interact with me.
Did you have stuff to throw out? You're like, you get a sugar packet, and you get a sugar packet.
Sugar packet? I don't know how much Simone would love that at Euphoria, but you know what? That's an idea, and I might do it next time. I did at International Women's Day, though, give away a bunch of prizes.
You gave a lot of stuff out.
Insane. You know what? The local business community gave a lot of stuff out.
That's correct.
I was just like the catalyst of it. But that was kind of like Oprah, because I was like throwing stuff out in the audience.
That was incredible. There were lots of people lined up. You had me handing out stuff too. Like it was crazy. It was a remarkable day. Congrats.
Thank you. And we're doing it again. We're actually already in planning mode.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I'm locking in our sponsors. We've got some prizes to line up, and I've got kind of some new event things going on this year. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Yes.
Exciting.
Oh, community friend. Clink, cheers to you.
Clink,
Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you.
Really honored.
Trent University professor, used to be business development at the Chamber of Commerce. Now you've got a career knee-deep in dogs and cats and animals at the Humane Society.
Yes,
not in that. Yeah, maybe not knee-deep. We will edit that out.
Knee-deep in love.
Knee-deep in love.
Knee-deep in love, yes.
For the Humane Society, and you've always been an animal lover.
Been an animal lover, yes.
So was this just a natural fit for you to transition?
The fit to the fundraising role, yes, was a natural fit for me. That was the natural fit, and the team just needed someone like me, and it fits, and it works out great, and I love being there. Oh,
that's wonderful. It's such a beautiful place, newly renovated, and they have a dog park. I hope you don't mind. This isn't about business. I just love the Humane Society. I feel like if you follow me, you already know that. They have a dog park open to the community. You should go check it out.
And we just got a poop bag dispenser installed.
Yes, I've been tying little ones to the fence for other users.
Yes, no. So we got that. It was sponsored by Skedaddle Wildlife Management, I think, or Wildlife Control. Sorry, Skedaddle Wildlife Control.
I love that.
So that's up in our dog park.
Look, if you're open for ideas,
I'm always open for ideas.
Couple ideas around the dog park.
Okay.
Number one, a fountain that's sponsored by like McLeod's Eco Water. I'm just saying, Rowan and Lily.
Rowan, yes, yeah. That's...
Also, hear me out.
Yep.
A vending machine.
Okay.
That vends toys and treats.
Mm.
You could charge double.
I like that.
And the extra money would go right back into the Humane Society.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's a great idea. The water fountain's a great idea too.
Full of them.
Full of them.
Full of ideas. All right, enough about me and my love for animals. Let's get over to you, Grobler. Can you please tell everybody a little bit about yourself? What do you like? What do you not like? What are your special talents? Do you have a secret?
I do have a secret.
Oh,
I've come prepared.
Yes. Let me get a little closer.
Well, maybe after my secret, you're like, No, so I'm Cy. 2 kids, 6 and almost 3.
6?
Hanukkah is 6, yes.
No.
Micah is turning 3 in a couple of weeks.
Already?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Sorry, I just still assumed that they were
because
babies.
like Hanukkah was yay big, right? When she first came to the chamber.
So you're a dad.
I'm a dad. Yeah, my wife is awesome. She's the owner at East City Dental.
I'm like, you better plug that business because
Yes.
Kaylee is an amazing dentist.
Yes, she's great. She's awesome. So she's doing really, really well. And
Their social media, sorry to cut you off, is absolute fire. So follow.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yes, I love it.
Oh,
Everything
good.
that they're putting out,
Good.
I'm totally here for.
Okay.
I'm sure she's already noticed the Tiffany Show in her feed.
Hobbies, golfing and running. Things that I really like a hamburger. Like I go to a restaurant, I order a hamburger.
I know, because you're a big foodie. You do love good food.
I do love good food, and I've gotten recently into like barbecuing and roasting. And like, yeah, I know it's good.
That's delicious.
It's good.
I'm coming over.
But yeah, I'll get to my secret.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you and I will do this all day.
And we will.
And we will. Dyslexic, which I think you know because of
Right, yes.
Gideon. So I'm dyslexic.
Gideon is dyslexic.
Yep.
You remembered
Yeah,
that.
I remember that. So I'm dyslexic too, and I drive stick shift. So
Get drive stick shift too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know you drove stick shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's not very many of these cars around.
There's not. Gideon always says it's its own anti-theft device because
Yes.
nobody knows how to drive stick.
Exactly. And when you take it in for like a service, you're always like, "Do you know how to drive stick shift?" And they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay. We need to like have a little chat here.
Let me bring it into the bed.
I'll bring it in." So yeah, that's my secret.
Oh, that is cool. Thank you for sharing a
Yeah,
little
of course.
bit about you.
Yeah, no. Now people know some irrelevant facts about me.
Relevant facts. They're relevant. Your hometown is
Yes.
not Peterborough.
But you know what? Like, I moved around a lot as a kid. So Peterborough has now been the place I've been here the longest. So so grew up in South Africa, moved to Newfoundland in a tiny town in Alberta, and I did undergrad in the States. And then I met my wife when I was in Hamilton for my grad. And so her and I were in Alberta, and now we moved here. And that happened in 2017. So like 7 years here.
Okay.
And that's the longest I've ever been in a place. So I don't know what a hometown feels like because I never had one.
Right.
But I think this is.
I think you do
hometown.
now.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
like, I think it's here.
So you've been a teacher at Trent University.
Yes.
Business development, you're behind a lot of like social projects as well. I know social enterprises near and dear to your heart. Those community initiatives, taking care of each other. I had never heard of the term reciprocity until I met you.
Yep.
And I learned a lot from you in our years together. So I've got
learned a lot
deep,
from
deep
you.
appreciation. You've tried different things in your career. You've moved a lot around in your life.
Correct.
What has been the biggest reward that you've received from taking a risk?
I don't find myself particularly risky in the sense of like, this is a big chance. I'm going out on a limb. If I fall down, this is going to be bad.
It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. And I'm going to get mud all over. Like, I don't think of it like that. So all my career moves, there's been sort of a reason for them. One project sort of ends, or I realize that I can't do more there, or my growth is over. Then it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing available? I've got a problem where like, I can totally do that thing that I think I'm going to do. Like, in my head and my insides, I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I have no experience. I've got no understanding of it.
Just full of audacity.
Audacity.
It's all audacity.
It's all shine. It's all, there's no substance. They're like, how are you going to do it? I'm like, I'll figure it out.
I don't know.
And part of it is like, lots of the roles that I've taken on, it has been that. Like, I mean, you were there with me at the chamber where it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do? And it's like, well, we made it. Like, we built it. And it's like, this is what we're going to do. I know I get what I need to do. And so, or where I need to go. So I'll do it like this. When I think about any of these career moves that I've made, it's been like, okay, I need a new growth opportunity. Where should I go? What would happen if this doesn't work?
Right.
And if I can convince myself that that the doesn't work out is not that bad, then I'll do it. So it's like,
whatever.
I tried. It didn't work. So I do that for like almost anything. It's just like if I convince myself that the negative isn't going to be that big of a deal, I go for it.
That's a really great way to do it.
Yeah.
I take risk when the fire in my belly is so strong I can't shut my brain up.
Got it. Yeah. So your
and
gut
my
person.
belly just does it. I just all of a sudden
gut feel thing. You're like, you know
like
what? Like the logic's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Because this will wait until like it's absolutely perfect.
Which you'll never get to.
Move, which you'll never get to. So I need my gut to be like, let's just go. Get this done.
The perfect will never get to from you in one of these shows.
No way.
Yeah, you said that.
Oh.
That's quote Tiffany.
Yeah, and you know what? I got it from Stuart Harrison.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
shout out to you again, Stu. I feel like I bring you up in every episode talking about advice. I got a lot from that man.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
So you kind of hinted a little bit, but maybe some of life's significant challenges.
Yes.
Obviously moving a lot, being a new dad,
Yep.
having career changes,
Yep.
trying out different things. Trent University, don't you have like a bunch of degrees too?
I have
like you're
so
like
many
a
degrees.
serial
Learner.
Yeah.
But learner in the university sense. I just love university degrees.
You just love it. You just collect them all. So maybe could you highlight some of the most significant challenges that maybe you faced in life? You talked a little bit about dyslexia, which is its own challenges.
Yes. Yeah.
And I thought maybe you could shine a little bit of
Sure.
light on that.
Yeah, I'll do the dyslexia. So as a kid, I didn't have what they call, like, I don't know what the correct phrase for this. I didn't have a middle line. So I didn't understand that, like, my right side and my left side are different. They're all the same. And so, like, when someone would tell a kid, like, kick with your right foot, right and left made no difference to me. Like, it was just all the same. So that was sort of the start of it.
Yeah.
So tons of, that was just mostly therapy, like tutors teaching me how to, like, read and stuff. And, like, it's gotten better where, like, I can read fine. Numbers are awful. Numbers I mix up all the times. So, like, I have to work really hard to, like, anyone's giving me a phone number,
Slow down.
Yeah. Lots of work on that. Yeah. So, and I never, my mom would often, like, say to me, like, yeah, a bunch of these people thought that you would never graduate high school because, like, your dyslexia and stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that that's true, because I wasn't, like, I'm not an idiot. Like,
no.
I just,
Yeah.
I would flip, and a P would become a B quickly. I would, like, flip it this way and I'd flip it up. And it was just the way my brain would work. So, that was just I just remember as a kid just missing out on a whole bunch of fun, because it was like after school, like, you got to go to the tutor.
Yeah.
Got to go to the tutor. And I did that for like 5-6 years. Like, it just never ended until we moved to Canada. And then, like, it was like, okay, I think you're okay.
You kind of had some tools in place to kind of get you through.
To get it through. But the other challenge is the big one for us as a family recently was we moved into our house. Kaylee bought her business 2 weeks after that. Like, it closed.
Ooh.
And then, Micah was born 2 weeks after that. So there was like a 6-week window where, like, it all happened.
You had 3 life changes in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's a lot. I bet a lot to, like, navigate between the partnership too, like who's doing what and redefining the lanes, because now you've got 2 kids and a business.
Correct. And, like, you get through it, and you sort of, now that it's 3 years ago that this happened, it's like, holy smokes.
Was it hard for you to define the lanes in business? I hope you don't mind me asking.
No. It's a really good question, because part of the difficulties like, I find, like just the day-to-day grind, very challenging.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be a loving husband, attentive dad, good at my career, and I want to have fun, right? Like, and that is hard to do in a single day.
All of those things.
All of those things is very challenging. And so when you talk about the lanes, her and I had to work really hard. So there's a book by a woman called Eve Radofsky called Fair Play.
Oh.
And so her belief, it's a method of figuring out household tasks, like all the tasks that a family needs to do.
Okay.
And her premise is that everyone's time is equal. So Kaylee earns more money than I do. Her salary's bigger, but my time is just as valuable as her time.
Of course.
So when she works, she's allowed to work. She's allowed to earn money.
Yep.
I'm also allowed to work and earn money.
Yeah.
But when we're, there are a bunch of things that need to be done at home. And so we have to figure out a way to get it fairly.
Yes.
So that it doesn't unnecessarily go to Kaylee.
Yes.
Which it did, especially when Annika was 1, like, for sure. She took the brunt of that while still being a full-time dentist.
Right.
Like,
Whoa.
Yeah. No, she did a lot there.
Yeah.
She did a lot.
Yeah.
And so second kid sort of like, okay, no, this
Gotta
whole
change.
thing needs to be rearranged. Eve's, this fair play philosophy or practice is just, she breaks down every task into cards. And so you have to hold a card. So, like, I have laundry, I have kids pickup. And then that means Kaylee has these cards. So, like, I do these things, It's been defined what these are. She does these things, and that's it. Like it's worked well for us. You know, you figure out the ones that aren't important.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't relevant. You sit down every once in a while. You're like, are these fair?
Nice. That's a good check-in.
Is this a fair thing?
Yeah.
Like, is it fair that I'm doing these and you're doing these?
It doesn't come naturally, right?
No,
We
no.
need to establish those lanes with each other. And Gideon and I have that too, because years and years ago, I would go to Gideon and I would be like, oh, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor and vacuum? One day I realized vacuuming is not a personal favor to me.
Yes.
Vacuuming is a thing that adults have to do if they want to live in a clean house. So that was the day I stopped asking him for favors.
Yes.
And the asking for help, because I found I was just taking everything on and then getting really upset with him.
Yeah, that is a thing that we also work through.
Yeah, I think all couples do.
Gosh, yeah.
And people don't talk about it.
No. And then the other one, hey, can you fold the sheets? And you do such a bad job at it.
That they go and refold.
And you're like, I'll just do that for you. And then like eventually, like it just, again,
it's discouraging.
It just falls. You've done it wrong. I will do it right.
I'll do it the right way.
I don't want to teach you. This is annoying. That is your card to fold the do it, and you do it, and you just let it go.
I'm guilty of that. I would do it with the towels when they weren't folded right.
Yep.
And because I had the spa, because I worked at the spa for 10 years.
So you know
so
how to
I have
fold
a very particular way of folding towels and dishes.
Yep.
So if dishes were not done 10 minutes after we ate, I would be upset. And so it actually took me some time to learn that Gideon will do the dishes.
Yes.
He will do them in the morning.
Yes.
Before we go to work, because that is just a better time for him.
Yep.
That is when he likes to do it.
Yep.
So he just makes sure that once we're done cooking, the counters are all clean and everything's in the dishwasher or the sink.
And then he does
and everything that needs to be washed just sets in the sink until the morning and and I just have to deal with it.
Yes.
Like, you know what?
That is a compromise.
It's not a big deal.
That is a compromise to work through.
That book is a great tool that kind of helped you navigate that journey.
And you obviously don't have to follow all of it, but it's just a really interesting way of making sure that everything gets done fairly. End of story.
It's not a competition.
No.
Nobody is keeping score.
No. It's one family,
keep score.
one household.
That's right. We're on the same team.
That needs to get things done, and you get it done by both adults working together.
Yes.
And this is how you do it.
So in those challenging times, when things are dark, when things are really hard, when you're really being pushed and facing adversity, what or who pushes Cy on?
Oh gosh, mostly me. So because so I've had a lot of therapy to fix this part, but it's not completely fixed. So anytime I have adversity or struggles or challenges, I have this, my brain is wired to interpret whatever this struggle is in front of me as a reflection of my poor, like some sort of work angle, but it always turns into shame. It's sort of what it always turns into. So not worthless, not because like worthless means that like I understand that I have worth, but right now I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Shame is like I know my worth and I'm not living up to it.
Yes.
I am just a flat out loser. And like I've had that for like big things, little things, enormous things. Like it's just the way my brain works. And it's the oddest, I don't know why it does that. It just automatically just like, oh, this thing that you happen in front of you, like, well, of course you're just a loser. Like you're just a loser.
That just guts me. I love you so much. You're such a good friend of mine. Oh, sorry. I'm like, don't talk about my friend like that.
Well, yeah. So like,
I totally that hardwire, the guilt and shame.
It's just shame.
Yeah.
For me, it's just it comes back to shame. And so like I've done a fair bit of counseling with that. One of the counselors did EMDR, so it's rapid eye movement stuff. That seems to like done the biggest leap for me.
Yeah.
Where it's just sort of like that shame sort of feeling has just like gone away. Now, when I see bad things or experience bad things or any of that like I am immediately taken back to that bad place.
Right.
And I'm just like, no. I don't have to be there. I can work through this. And so when you ask where do I go to, it's always me, because like no one's going to improve your own outlook on yourself besides you.
And no one's coming to save you.
You know, you have a partner that like, and again, Kaylee's like, to your point, it's like, stop being mean to my husband, right? Like,
Yeah.
she does that.
She would. I could totally.
But like, you don't hear that.
No,
you don't hear it.
Not when you're.
You don't hear it.
when
You
you're
don't
in your
feel
own-
it. Like,
yeah.
it's like you hear it and you're like, that's so kind of you to say. You should say that. You are my wife, right? But it doesn't actually penetrate
No,
at all.
it doesn't change things to hear words.
No. And so like you kind of just, for me anyway, like I said, the therapy's really helped. And, when those bad things happen, it's just like, I go back to what are my values? What do I want to achieve? How do I want to achieve these things? And then like that wrist thing we were talking about,
Yeah.
that I fall down, was this one of those things? And one of the things I've learned with a little bit of maturity is not everything's in your control.
Yeah.
So when bad stuff happens, is this like a thing that I caused, which means it's a learning opportunity?
Yeah.
Or is this beyond my control, which is like, it's not. And then you're just like, okay,
Feel it and let it go.
feel crappy that happened.
Yep.
There's no need to feel shameful about this because I was not in control of that situation.
And we don't need to stay there.
You definitely don't need to stay
We
there.
don't need to stay there.
This is sort of get people to like process the conflict better and put it in a box so that you don't forget about it, but it's not a part of you anymore.
Yes.
Because this used to be a part of me. Like,
Right.
it just like everything used to get clouded.
Moved by shame.
Shame.
Yeah.
That was it. And so one of the exercises they did was like, okay, like this feeling that you have, you're in this space now, like how far back does this go? Right? Like, and it went back far. Like I was like, I remember feeling this at this specific time, this specific time, this specific time. And so like, every one of those we had to sort of like put into a box, put into a box, put into a box, put into a box. And then like, I can like that. And like, so therapy helped a lot. Knowing this about me has been eye-opening.
Powerful.
Yeah, because I feel it still,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm like, yeah, okay, I do this. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna, most of the time I let it feel bad for like a day or a night, and then I'm like, yeah, I felt it.
Let's pull out the tools.
Or what's next?
Yeah. It is interesting going through those journeys and collecting the tools along the way and then finding the opportunities to deploy them and when, right?
When you talk about tools, like the counseling is one of them. Self-care, but just like being healthy and sleeping well.
Yeah. Nutrition is a big one.
Yes. Just literally sleep enough, and you eat right, and you get a little bit of exercise. Like things just work better.
Yeah. So, Sai, if little you were sitting right here with us today,
You're gonna make me cry.
what would you tell that little fella?
Gosh, Tiffany, that would be okay. I was a kid in South Africa, and holy crap, that I get picked on like
Did you?
a lot.
I didn't know that.
No, a lot, and like it didn't let up. It's sort of the thing about the shame thing. Like you only when you get okay with yourself does that actually get better.
Yeah.
So as a little kid, parents had me in karate. The teachers knew, but it didn't stop. It didn't help. Grade 1 till about grade 5, like it was nightmare.
Oh,
Absolute
buddy.
nightmare. I hated school. I hated like anything about it. I
Oh.
didn't quite understand dyslexia at the time, so it was like, oh well, these things aren't coming easy to me. And then like I'd get like an 80 on a test, and I'd be like, I'm so stupid, and like all the shame would happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm 30 whatever now, and it's like I'm okay. I'm somewhat successful. The other thing I would tell little me is like you would marry a very hot wife.
Oh.
Sorry, I should use grown up words. Gorgeous. Gorgeous inside and out. So like,
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
You and Kaylee are beautiful, beautiful people.
I'm trying.
Can you maybe share
Mhm.
off the heels of that? Has there been a moment in your life where somebody's
Yes.
kindness has like impacted your life, changed your direction?
Totally. Yeah. So
What
I
is
got
that?
4 people. I'm going to start with you. You have been very kind to me. And the one example I'm thinking about is like, obviously we're friends, we chat. And, but the one in particular example I'm thinking about, like the thing that I was sharing with you, your reaction was like a mama bear. Like, that's not right. They were wrong. You shouldn't put up with that. And I was like, yeah, Tiffany, you're right. She's like, it's garbage. Don't do it. And I was like, Yeah. Yeah, Tiffany. And so, like, it's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it was nice. Like
you protect our friends. You protect the people we love.
just automatically and just like
that's how I'm upset.
Yeah. Like, they should, not right.
Yeah.
Not your fault. Right? And I was like, I'm sitting, I'm like, no, I think it was a little my fault. Like, no, they're wrong.
With such conviction.
Oh, totally.
Right? Like, it's
2 seconds in, their fault. And I was like,
they lost.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, Tiffany, that was good. And so Neil Morton's done that in the past too.
Neil Morton is one for me too.
He's done that for me in the past.
Wow.
His reaction is great because he's just like, dude, don't even worry about that. Let's just do your thing. Like, he's literally like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, why did you bring this to me? Like, that's his whole persona. It's just like, I don't know why. And then
for me, he was like, don't let anybody control your show.
Oh, okay. I think that's good advice.
Yeah. He was like, no matter what, do not let anybody control your show.
Okay. Good.
And I was like, oh. And after last year, obviously we know my dad passed, and I actually had coffee with Neil afterwards, crying at the Silver Bean to poor Neil. Like, we're there to talk business. And I'm like, oh, he was and he's always been kind.
Yes.
Like, he's always lifted me up, you up, other people in the community lifted up. Such a beautiful, beautiful Mr. PTBO himself.
And then we have Stu. And Stu, like, with the advice, sort of like just very empathetic, listening, quiet, calm. Very recently, Jonathan Bennett, I had a coffee with him, and like, he was so unbelievably generous with his time and his expertise. I was just sitting there and I was like, what happened? Like, what?
Wow.
Why me? Like, what happened here? Like, I can't believe this. Like, this is incredible. Good.
When people extend their time, that's such a gift, right?
And yes, those are the four that come to mind right away. And like, they like, you sort of think that you're on a course and you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And what you realize is you need like people to get you on a better course.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do it on your own.
No. What's the best thing about life?
Oh gosh, that I'm alive. I just look at all the opportunity. I look at the freedom to explore and do all of these things. And like, that's the exciting part.
If you had a message for those watching us at home.
The only thing I can say to the audience, thank you for watching. Find your values, be convicted in your values, and be brave in living them. That's all. That's the only advice I have.
I love that. Find your values, be brave in living them. Cy Grobler, thank you so much for joining us today. My pleasure. This has been another episode of The Tiffany Show, and you know the drill. Please be kind, keep going, take care of each other, and all that good stuff.
You're looking to sell your home or cottage? You want to work with someone who knows the market inside and out. Hi, I'm Sarah Evans, born and raised in Peterborough, Ontario. I am very proud to call this great community home. Contact me today and I can promise to exceed your expectations. 705-768-6278 or visit sarahevans.ca.
Not intended to solicit those currently under contract.